Alright, what we're gonna do today is fix and clean up this old iHome. It's pretty nasty, really dusty and dirty. It's got some old stickers on it and some scuffs. And the biggest problem with it is the volume and set wheels, knobs don't work, like at all. And we're gonna fix those today. But besides that, I think it works. I did test it out a bit, and that's about all I could see that was wrong with it. Is these did not work, so we'll go ahead and try to get those fixed up today. And how to fix these is there's I believe it's called an encoder underneath these, and they get really filthy because there's big cracks right here that a lot of dust and dirt will fall into, and just gets them so dirty to where they don't even work. And just before we start taking this thing apart, I'll go ahead and show you what it's doing before we do anything else. Yeah, so see, it turns on, and these buttons work. But see, when I go to adjust the volume, nothing happens, like, at all. Set wheels doing pretty much the exact same thing, not working at all. And that is no good. So we will start taking this thing apart and try to get these fixed. We'll worry about fixing these before we worry about cleaning it up. And so next thing to do, I guess, is just to take it apart. And so I guess that's what we're gonna do. Ooh, those batteries do not look that great at all. Want to clean up these. Yep, that's pretty bad. We'll have to clean up these terminals while we're at it. Oh, if I can pick stuff up. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. All right. Start there. I think there is screws underneath here, and yes, there is. Well, there's little arrows, and they're pointing here, so there must not be any under these two bottom pads. We're going to need the smaller screwdriver. Those screws are not one to come out very easy. We'll try to, yep, these are a little magnet. Works just fine. These little magnets are handy to have. Oh, till they get stuck. Just keep it on my lamp. Alright, I believe that is alright, we got, well, that's kind of annoying. At least it's unpluggable. Oof. That doesn't look good. There's like soot under there, like something burned. Everything else looks okay. Alright, we'll set this aside for now. And we gotta get under these speakers. Alright, I think we can unplug that. Looks like a ground wire. And we got a screw here. And a screw here. And it looks like there is a couple screws right here. Alright, I think this should lift up now. I see there's clips on the side holding this whole assembly in. There we go. Well, I guess this all lifts off. We can just do that because all we need to get to is this and this. These, I believe, are the encoders. Go ahead and take these off and see how dirty they are. And there's our prize right here. So what you need to do is just clean this really well. Go ahead and use some electric contact cleaner. And just, if we can, just spray it in there real good. And work it around. Gonna spray some isopropyl alcohol in there as well. Can't hurt to have multiple cleaners. Be nice to have an air compressor and blow in there really well. there was some Sharpie running on there. Alright, I think you can pop these off too. We'll pop this out. Maybe. And that's pretty dirty. I was actually expecting worse, but yeah, there's some dirt in there. Well, that's good. We can leave this knob off and put this back together and test it and make sure it's gonna work still. And then once we know it's gonna work, we can just pop that back on. That's kind of nice. We'll do one more spray just to make sure. Go ahead and take a Q-tip and clean in here a bit just so it's more clean. Yeah, there is some dust in there. Pretty gross. This must have been in a garage or something like that. I was actually expecting it to be a lot more dirty for how much it doesn't work. But I guess it's pretty dirty in there. Well, this must be the USB port. We'll go ahead and take this off and clean it while we're in here. I didn't even test this, but facing up unprotected USB port probably gets pretty dirty, I would imagine. Alright, that looks pretty good. Better than it was, I'm sure. And this is another spot that little magnet comes in handy. Alright, let's, before we put that together, we'll clean the other side, and then we'll test and make sure they're both working before we put it back together. There's a zip tie holding these cords together. I'm disputing on whether or not to cut it. We'll try to do it without cutting it. Oh, that one looks a little more dirty. Now, if you wanted to, you could probably desolder this encoder and take it apart completely and get it really clean. But I don't think I'm going to go through all that trouble. I'm going to see how it does when once we're done cleaning it. Man, it's hard to turn these things without the knobs. Could probably put a knob on there and turn it, but I should probably do something the other one too. Clean the outside of it. Yeah, it's a little dirty. Alright, I guess we can give it a test. Now, which one was radio? Oh yeah. See that? We can change radio stations. That is good. We can go down. We can go up. So cool. And that means the volume should be working also. If I can get a grip on it. Oh yeah. Up and down. Alright, cool. That means we can go ahead and put it back together and then clean it up a little bit further. What I'm gonna do before I put those together is I am just going to wipe this inside down just a little bit because there is a lot of dirt and dust in here. I don't know how it got in there so easily, but it did. And we should be able to put the knobs in from the outside. Man, there's lots of flux on that board. I wonder if that's why those encoders weren't working. Alright, let's make sure the inside of this little window is clean. We don't want that being all dusty. Alright, these should just go back like that. Okay, that's not right. Alright. We got us a little tangle. Nice. Alright, now we just have to remember which way these screws went in. Alright. You might be able to clean those if you can get the knobs off, but I think you'd probably break these tabs if you try to just pull the knobs off, so it's probably better to pop them out from the bottom like we did. So we'll go ahead and just clean these up a little bit, clean the area. Try to make sure more dirt and dust doesn't fall into there. We'll go ahead and test these again, just to make sure we're still good. Power on, radio. Oh yeah. Alright, well, looks like we're still working. So now, let's clean this thing up. See if we can get these scuffs off. Oh yeah, those are coming off nicely. Cool. It's a pretty big dent right there. Probably won't be able to do much about that. Yeah, this thing is pretty dirty, that's for sure. I relocated my camera mount, so hopefully you don't get a bunch of shakes anymore, because it was attached to my desk before, and now it's not attached to the desk anymore, so hopefully it doesn't shake every time I move now. Alright, let's try to get this nasty old sticker off home. Good thing that works for that is like a guitar pick or something like that. So that way you don't... Oh, that's coming off pretty easy actually. That way you don't scratch the plastic. If you use metal, you'll scratch the plastic. That's coming off way easier than I thought it was going to. Gross. Oh, yeah, it's looking way nicer. Does this thing come out? Yes, it does. Nice. Well, that makes that a lot easier. Alright, it's probably not going to be perfect, but it will be way better than it was. Might as well spray a little bit of contact cleaner in here because this thing faces right up, so I'm sure there's a bunch of dust in there. That should help a little bit at least. I'm gonna try to... Alright, I think that's about as clean as the top's gonna get. Alright. Well, that looks much better. Let's clean this side up a little bit. Wonder what that R was for. Probably meant needs repair. I don't know. It's gone now. This cord's pretty yellow. I wonder if it will clean up a little bit. No, doesn't look like it. Alright. Just the bottom left. it's looking pretty good. We just got one more thing to do. Just give me 1 second and we'll get to it. Alright, I suppose we should probably clean those too, because they are pretty gross. Alright, what we are going to do is put a little bit of, just a little teeny dab grease on the top and where these can rub. Just so there's a little bit of something to fight the friction. Alright, before we pop these back on, we're just going to make sure they're still working, so we're not going to have to hold that part. Oh yeah, which one? Oh god. Okay, well, they're still working. We'll go ahead and pop these guys back on. Just like that. Just like that. Can throw these guys away. Alright, I think she's good. Still can change radio stations up and down, and volume up and down. So we should probably try the iPod dock just to check. Go ahead and throw the old touch on there. Hopefully this model works with the touch. It looks like it does, because that looks like a iPod touch inlet, but guess we'll find out. Alright. Went on, iPod. iPod on. And it's working, it's charging. Hopefully I can show you that without charging. You can see that. And we're working. Down, up. Drifting away like a feather in air, letting my soul take me away from the hurt and despair. So I'm keeping it vertical, forever elevator, riding the escalator. Wow, thing goes pretty loud. That's cool. Alright, well, I think that about does it. Pretty big difference. And it's actually usable now, so that's good. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Oh, and just one more thing before I end the video. This thing calls for a 15-volt DC jack. So it calls for a 15-volt DC jack, but I'm just using an old 12 volt DC jack DC adapter, so 12 volts will work on this thing. I did try a 9 volt adapter and it turned on, but it wouldn't play radio or anything, so you need a minimum of 12 volts to power these things. So if you have a hard time finding a 15 volt adapter, you can use a 12 volt adapter. So just figured I'd throw that in there for you if anyone needs it. And yeah, I'm excited to have this little thing just so I can pop my iPod on and charge it and play music at the same time. So yeah, hopefully this video helps someone. Yeah, these are pretty neat little iPod docks. I can't think of another iPod dock that works as good as the iHomes, but I'm sure they're out there, but these are the only ones that I've had like good luck with. So yeah, they're pretty cool. Well, take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching.